Is he still there?
Hello everybody, today we're going to be talking about that scary C word that everybody hates to talk about. No, we're not talking cookies, we're talking about credit. We're going to talk about what it is, some myths that'll hurt your credit, and of course ways to help build and establish your credit. Disclaimer. These are not the only ways to get credit, but these are ways that I've seen personally work. Okay, and now to start. So what is credit? I'm going to read you the definition right now. Credit is an assigned number to a person that indicates to lenders their capacity to repay a loan. Now, who keeps track of your credit? There are 3 different bureaus. There's TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. Now, the range of a credit score can be as low as a 316 and go as high as an 850. Typically for people to have good credit, you want to be over 700. Those that have fair credit are going to be between the 650 and 700 mark. Anybody that has fairly poor credit is going to be below that 650 mark. Now, before we go any further, just hear me out. Credit is very important for you to have. If you hear people say, I don't need credit, that I pay cash for everything, I never needed credit before, I'm not gonna need it, stay away from those people. No credit is equivalent to bad credit. You need credit in the world that we live in. Want a nice car or the hoopty that backfires? You need credit. You want that nice house on the hill or you want to continue burning money on rentals? You need credit. Want to open up your own business? You need credit. Now you may be saying, how do I get credit? Well, let's start with step 1. Step 1 is you have to be at least 18 years old of age. Since you have no previous credit history, you're probably gonna need to open up what's called a secured credit card. Now what the secured credit card means is that you go to the bank and you give them a certain amount of money. It's usually around $300, and then they give you a credit limit to use. Once you use a secure card, you'll make payments back, whether it be monthly or you could pay it off all at once. It's up to you. I highly recommend at first you only use this card for necessities, such as food and gas. These are items that you typically pay for with cash, so you should have the money to pay it right back. Now I know it's exciting when you get your first credit card, but please don't start acting like you're a baller and shot caller. I mean, it's only $300 anyway. Yeah boy, got that credit card. Drinks on me tonight. Now that we're through that, step 2 is to open up more credit cards. In order to build a deep and solid credit history, you want to have several trade lines. What's a trade line? A trade line is each credit line that you have open. One credit card equals one trade line. Car loan, another trade line. School loans, another trade line. Your goal is to build a deep and strong credit history. The more trade lines you have, the easier it will be later in life to get bigger loans with better interest rates. Now to step number 3. You're going to need a car at some point, so it's better to get that car loan sooner rather than later. You're going to want to find a brand that offers a first-time buyers program. I personally use Toyota, but I know there's several other brands out there that offer a similar thing. Warning. Interest rates are going to be higher than what you see on promotion offers. Remember, since you don't have a deep credit history, you don't have the ability to prove that you can make payments on time, which makes you a high risk. The way that I like to think of it is at this point you're earning your stripes. You have to be able to prove to people that you can make car payments on time. Now this will help you in the future get better rates. When you're at the point to buy a car, make sure you have some money saved up to put as a down payment. This will help the lender feel more comfortable since it will put them in an equity position right off the bat. It will also help if you have a co-signer that has good credit and also strong income. Now step number 4, I can't stress this enough. Make sure to make your payments on time. Building credit takes years of work. When opening these cards and spending money, you need to make sure that you don't go over your budget. Even one late payment can have a big effect on your credit score this early in the game. Now for step 5, you're going to want to wait a few months, if not maybe even a year, to start this next step. And it might sound a little bit redundant, but you know what you have to do? Open more credit cards. Now that you have some good payment history underneath your belt, it'll actually allow you to open up additional cards with larger credit limits that are not secured. What does that mean? You can apply for a credit card now without giving that deposit I had mentioned, and you'll also get bigger limits, such as maybe $1,000 to $5,000. Please remember not to overextend yourself where you can't make the payments. Credit is a big tease, and you have to have a lot of willpower not to spend all that money. Most importantly, you have to realize that this is not free money. You have to pay this back. Now that we have those 5 steps covered, let's go a little bit deeper on keeping your score high and making it stay there. You now have an availability percentage. You want that availability percentage to be at least 75% or higher. Now, what does this all mean? Now, let's just say you have a credit card with a $1,000 limit. You want to keep your monthly balance to just $250 in order to have at least a 75% availability percentage. Now, you can still spend that entire $1,000 if you want to, but when that bill comes, make sure not to make the minimum payment and pay at least $750 of that $1,000 to keep your 75% availability. Outside of having a higher score, the other advantage is it saves money on interest. Now, who doesn't like saving money? Let's say you have a $1,000 credit limit and you've used $1,000 of that credit. When they go to figure out the interest, let's say it's 15%. You're gonna end up paying $150 just in interest because your balance is $1,000. Now, if you were to get your bill and pay the $750 like I recommended, you'd only have a balance of $250, so now you'd only pay $37.50 in interest. See the difference? You only pay interest on the balance owed, not your credit limit. Now let's get to the most common myth that I hear all the time. People always say, I'm going to open a credit card, I'll max it out, and I'll pay it all off, and I'll close it. Do not close your credit cards. If you want to build a deep, strong credit profile, you need years of credit history. By closing these cards, it basically disappears from your credit after so many years. Even if you have a credit card that you've had for 10 years and never use, pay it off, have a zero balance, but keep it open. This helps with that availability percentage. Hopefully these tips bring some clarity on how to build and establish credit. Now, if you've already had years of experience and went down the wrong path and made late payments and things of that sort, there is still hope.
Yeah, baby!
It will still take years to build up your credit. However, the worst thing you can do is be afraid to talk about credit. There's never a reason to be afraid of your credit score because you can always come back by using these same steps I provided you. If you're just starting to build credit or already have established credit, it's very important to monitor your credit score. A site I use personally is mycredithealth.com. Now, you will pay monthly for this service, but it gives you your credit for all 3 bureaus in depth, gives you tips on how to improve your credit, and also notifies you if anybody ever tries to pull your credit to help avoid fraud. People with good credit scores know their credit score like the back of their hand, and you should too. I hope this video helps, and please make sure to share it with a friend. If you still have questions, please comment below and I will respond. Let's end the fear of credit. Thanks as always for watching, and make sure to subscribe, share, and like. Now I'm going to take a bubble bath.